CAS for the Ministry of Agriculture. She's called Honorable Anne Nyaga. Thank you so much for making time for us on this International Youth Day. We know now the theme is Youth Engagement for Global Action. CAS, thank you for making time for us. So how come most youth are not involved in agribusiness?
Thank you, Trevor. First and foremost, as we celebrate the International Youth Day, let me first of all highlight the importance of youth and the critical role that they play and can continue to play, especially when supported and the government is willing and ready to support them and facilitate them to be able to engage in the sector in a more sustainable manner. Actually, when you say about the youth, the sector not being able to attract them, what we have done is the government has picked up that the enrollment into the sector has not been as desired. And one of the critical things that we have done is to actually facilitate that the youth, and we facilitate the youth engagement through certain strategies that we have been able to develop. Let me talk about the youth in agribusiness strategy that we developed, which was a consultative strategy, which was developed in consultation with the counties and, of course, in consultation with the youth across the 47 counties. And the youth highlighted that some of the key issues that they were facing across board, which was actually all similar, when we have with 11 key strategic issues that are cross board, the youth says there were issues that are affecting their meaningful engagement in the sector. These ones cut across access to land, access to affordable finance, information, access to information, skills, and knowledge. Issues of value addition was also coming up. The knowledge on to value add markets, negative perception, and sport. We have, as a ministry and collaboration of development partners, in a response to not only implement this strategy, but also again to implement the directives as guided and as instructed by His Excellency the President on the Big Four agenda, that is food and nutrition security. We have been able to develop programs that are actually responsive to these needs. Let me actually, Trevor, let me just mention out of the 17 programs that we implement across the country, in collaboration with the county governments, you'll find that each and every county has, on the minimum, 2 programs running in the counties. Between two is actually the minimum, and it can run to even 3 programs or even 4 programs in a particular county. These programs are actually responsive to the not only to the Big Four agenda, but also the sector-wide strategy, that is the agricultural sector and transformation strategy, which is our 10-year plan, and also the youth in agribusiness strategy. So all these programs are actually different in design, because even as we talk about the youth have not been engaging, we have realized, and we've realized that also it had also an aspect with also the programming. So deliberately is also to be able to develop programming that is responsive and facilitative, so that they are able to, to benefit in a more meaningful manner from the programming. So you'll find, let me give an example of these 3 programs, which you'll find somehow in each and every county. We have the Nurik Program, whose design which addresses the issue of production and productivity. And how we do this is through giving, of course, building the capacity of the county government staff, for onward building the capacity of the farmers. And when I talk about farmers, I'm talking about youthful farmers, women, and also men, because we are talking about the President's directive as gearing us towards, inclusivity. Yeah. So the way these programs are designed, you'll find that we give grants. We also have, the NARIG is actually in 21 counties. We have KSAP, which is in 24 counties, which talks about issue of building resilience. Again, the more grants. So different programs have different kind of programming, but all of them skewed towards addressing all these 3 particular government initiatives.
Yes, let me ask you something, CS. I mean, you've mentioned 17 programs that are meant to empower the youth and also bring them into agribusiness, 2 per county. How has the uptake been like, and could it be because the youth simply don't know that these programs exist?
Actually, Trevor, that is one of the things. Realize also there's a bit of a gap in terms of the knowledge dissemination. As we run this county government, because how we have designed them is we build the capacity of the county government staff, then they onward the capacity to the farmers at the level. Also realize that there is a gap in the uptake, and there also a gap in also the communication. So also as a ministry, we've actually noted that, and we have actually designed strategies to be able to cascade this kind of information so that the uptake can even be more. So this is also a critical area that we've realized that needs to be enforced further, and actually plans and strategies are underway in implementation to ensure that all the youth actually know what these programs, not only crop and development, they also cut across research, they also cut across fisheries, and also, but also us being able to, get more youth to enroll in this program is something that we are working on strategically, so that they can know the existence of this program in their particular counties, what they need to be what procedures they need to know to be eligible in terms of particular support. But also, even as we do that, also in the grassroots level, you'll find that a lot of farmers are actually aware of these particular programs, because we have been some of the programs since 2017. We have been building the structures in the county government. So you'll find that even on the community level, farmers actually know these particular programs.
Yeah.
But so what we want to do is just address that gap that could be the population, the youth, men. So that is the segment of the population that we want to ensure that they actually know. But we have a segment that actually is aware now, maybe receiving support, and the program is being implemented. It's two-way. Some know, some don't know. So we are targeting the ones who don't know.
Okay. CS, you are in the youth bracket, so definitely there's a communication gap there. What is your plan now to ensure that most youth hear about these programs? Because if you're saying that you have a whooping 17 programs, 2 per county, that they should be able to empower the youth in these places. Cass, I don't know whether you had my last question there. My question was, how are you planning to disseminate this information as a young person yourself? You're in the youth bracket as well. How are you going to transform this information trickle down? Because if you have 17 programs in total and the youth don't even know about them, how do they get to know about these programs? What is your plan as the CAS for Ministry of Agriculture?
Okay, actually, critical thing which we have been analyzing ever since we came into office in January is actually to be able to analyze the gaps that exist. And true to that, being a youthful person, to that, being given an opportunity by our president to serve the nation and also support our youth. When we realized about these particular gaps, what we have done, as I said, as an initiative, is we've drawn strategies to be able to cascade these kind of programs to the youth who to create knowledge around these programs for the youth. So if it's a value chain, we shall be breaking it down. So there's this program, if it's ASDSP2, which actually concentrates 3 value chains across 47 counties, and the objectivity is to build capacity along this value chain. So we shall be breaking down. I shall actually be spearheading this particular knowledge transfer of the programs that are actually there, what value chains they address, how the youth can be eligible for that. But even as we spearhead from the Ministry of Agriculture as well, these programs, how they are structured, we unwire pass it to the county government. So also, there's also the ministry departments for agriculture within each and every county, the 47 counties. All the counties have a department for agriculture. And what we may want to encourage the youth is go to these departments for agriculture, find out each and every program has a coordinating unit, which sits under the office of the county executive member, that is the county minister or the CEC in charge of agriculture. find out which programs are actually there, and how do you become eligible. And the most strategic way is actually to ask for the coordinating units of these particular programs. So they are able to take the youth through the requirements, and they're actually able to be supported to develop proposals and so submit their needs. So it's an issue of also going to the counties, even as we disseminate, because also we've talked about devolution being able to bring services to the farmers on the ground. So being able to actually you can also go to the ward agricultural officers or the sub-county agricultural officers, because they also, in the implementation, we work together with these officers on the ground. So you find that all these officers, even on the ward level, they have all this critical information. And then for purposes of even developing proposals, these are the same officers who help the communities write proposals. So they can either go to the coordinating units or even to any agricultural office, be it on the sub-county level or the ward level. This information is able to be also accessed from that point.
All right. Finally, CS, what is your message to the young people today on this International Youth Day? What is your key message to them?
Actually, Trevor, what I would want to say is the agriculture sector actually needs the youth. And when you see, I'll give an example of our other critical industry, like 50% of sugar is actually able to satisfy the domestic production. So what I would want to say is, in everything that looks like a gap or a challenge actually lies a critical opportunity, which we may really want to encourage the youth to tap into that. So that when you hear there's actually a challenge, let us always run towards finding solutions, because that is how we are able to unlock business opportunities for ourselves through providing solutions, because everyone is looking for the solutions. So that is one area that I would want our youth to start looking at challenges and seeing opportunities and solutions. The other thing is also to encourage our youth, because our youth are quite educated, just to encourage them that as the sector actually needs them. Even our farmers back at home, our parents, our grandparents actually need them, because their knowledge, their education, once we form some bit of partnership with these particular communities, together with the education of the youth, they're actually able to help in the dissemination of education, and they're actually able to support the aging farmer population to offer solutions. So we'd want to really encourage the youth to see it that way, and even also reaching out, because even some of the challenges that we've been having, as I said, is the uptake of these programs. So let us also be curious enough to know what the government has segmented for you and how you can align to the key government priorities to be able to find a meaningful livelihood. And the ministry and also the president, the goodwill is there and the support is there. So do not give up, we're going to support you.
All right, and finally, in one of those programs, is there some money that comes with it? Because one of the biggest challenges from the youth has always been financial support.
Yeah, actually, Trevor, as I said, from the 11 key strategic issues that the youth brought forth, the youth do not only need to affordable finance, but they need capacity, they need market linkages, they need a package of support. And we are actually almost developing one of the programs that will be launched in a few months' time. And this program, what it will be addressing is the issue of access to finance, and also, of course, skills and knowledge, and even incubation, so that the youth are able to build business entities for themselves. And also, even as we talk about finances, we've seen some of our programs, some of them range from building infrastructure and infrastructural systems, and some of them in particular will be focusing on the youth, building youth entrepreneurs and support a youth as an individual, because we've also realized some youth want to go into it as a group. some also want to go. Some want to go into the business enterprise as one individual youth who's on board or employs 5 to 10 other youth. So the government is quite responsive to the requests and the needs of the youth. So we are going to tailor all the responsive court response to. Mention also, and you will be engaging in a few months' time. We can also we should also not forget our children, because youth one day. So again, being able to carry on our small brothers and sisters, we know in our 30s or in our 40s, is actually cascaded down to them even when they are 5 years of age. So because that is how we bring them, and for the overall and native good, we need to be able to onboard the children as well. But again, that is a discussion that we'll be having in a few months' time.
All right, we'll catch up with you again in a few months' time to see how far that goes. Honorable Anne Nyaga, thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. She's the CAS, Ministry of Agriculture. She says there are many projects that are coming through, 17 of them in total, meant to empower the youth, 2 per county. So ensure you go out to your nearest counties, areas, and ask about the programs that are available there for you to ensure that you also get empowered in one way or another. All right, so let's